Check, 1, 2, 3. Check, check. Okay, we're going to be live here shortly. I see we're live. All right. Welcome back to Real Cast Fishing. Your host, Glenn, with the City Valley Fishing Field Team, and yours truly. Just going to do a little recap of, little fishing that we did. In fact, this past weekend. I think I did a rebroadcast of an earlier live stream, but I believe I'm going to switch it out here in a moment. But before we go there, I think I need a little something to get things started while we wait for folks to join. So hold up real quick. All right. Okay, so I've got a video here that's been edited down from... Ooh, what's that noise? It's a little something for yours truly. It's pretty good. 8% alcohol content. So little something to go by here in a moment. We'll be talking about this past trip to the Blue River, where yours truly did a little fishing, and I able to limit out, and fortunately, that turned out pretty good here, but we'll just wait for some other folks to be joining here. I need to check out a couple of things here, so bear with me. I gotta switch around a couple of things, say howdy. And what I plan on doing this round was just talk about this past trip to the Blue River, more of a Q&A session, just to give you a heads up as to what was working and what things I had to contend with. And then on top of that, let's see, just basically tell you what was working and what was not for yours truly. So with that, I will start here in a moment. And just bear with me while I check out my notes. And also, I got Mr. Doggy over here that's probably going to be barking in the middle of all this. So bear with me while we have to deal with some barky bark. All right. So Blue River Q&A, recap of some of the stuff that I did this past weekend. It was Saturday, July 25th, and it was in Oklahoma at the Blue River. And let's see, the day limit is 3. The temperatures were in the 30s, so it's a little chilly. And then, in fact, there were some ice still on the water, and ended up even getting some ice on the guide. So with that, let me go ahead and kick off the video, and as things kind of go through, I'll probably stop here and there. If anyone has any questions that they'd like to throw out there, definitely throw them out there. Get a limit. Daily limit is 3. We're here in Oklahoma. I went with... Okay, it's Saturday, January 25th. Yes, 25th. We're over here at the Blue River, Oklahoma. Over here at the parking camping area, and I went with the 6-weight switch rod, and I'm just going to take a little walk down here to a low water crossing, also known as Hughes Crossing, and well, we're going to see what happens. Hopefully we can get a limit or two, well, a trout or two to get a limit. Daily limit is 3. We're here in Oklahoma rules, so let's stay aware. And supposedly there's some nice sized trout that were stocked here recently, and I'm going to go with a little indicator, and I've got a Guadalupana tied near deer style on a jig fly hook. So it's that variant that I made the other day. Temperature is about 34, just slightly above freezing, so let's stay warm. I do have my polarized glasses on, so I'm hoping I can see in the water and get a good clear picture of maybe something that may be lurking in the water. Okay, all right, cross at your own risk. River subject to flooding without notice. Water's flowing pretty nicely right now, so I think we got a good opportunity to catch a fish or two. Okay, what do we got? Yeah, water's nice and clear. Got my little wading stick. It's a repurposed walking stick. Water's flowing pretty good. Yeah, it's looking really good. Okay, so here's a view upriver, and there's a view downriver. We got about maybe, I'd say about 10, 12 people here already. It's about 7. All right, let's just kind of work our way Yeah, and it was about 7-ish, 7:30 or so, and you could see that there's some water flow. Water's fairly clear, and well, you'll see here shortly, there's still some ice in the water.
Over. There's a nice spot to try crossing right here. Let's just dig in here real quick. Yeah. All right, we're in the water, but it's not bad at all. Check something real quick. Yeah, we're live. We're live. Okay, what I'll typically do is I'll render this later unedited and just do a little rebroadcast. So hopefully tonight I might be able to show you how today went. But let's go start over here by the rock. It's a nice spot to start out, and I got the switch rod, so that should help out with getting some cast in from left to right upriver. Look at this. Got some ice. That's pretty thick. Wow, ice in the river. Okay, let's just work our way around. I got some cleats on, so that helps with walking on these rocks. All right, looks like I got some fish on.
Yeah, and that said, the folks across the river from me, they were definitely hooking up. I kind of started out slow and had to deal with some ice in the guides and whatnot, but eventually I ended up getting a few fish. So.
Nice. Some more of that ice. Look at that. Look how thick that is. Wow, thick stuff. All right, looks like we got a fishy. Nice. Nope. Let me get my net out. This is my wooden net that I made out of some little pieces of pine slats or whatever. There's my creel. That's a nice one. All right.
Oh yeah, and the individual across, I probably saw some pretty good sized ones, bigger than your normal stockers that you get over here in Texas. So we're fishing Blue River over there by Tishomingo, Oklahoma, and it's a trout fishery that's stocked between November through March of each year. So hey, you got a couple of more months to go before the trout stocking stop. And oh, by the way, there's going to be a trout derby. I believe it's the weekend of February 15th. And they do stock some bigger trout for that. So if you're interested, keep that in your back pocket if you're free in February.
All right, we got fish in the river, trout in the river. I brought gloves this time because I really wore my hands out the other time coming out here when it was freezing temperatures. So let's see how I do with this thing here. All right, let's just get the line out, get it started. What I like about this switch rod is I can really play with casting. All right, we'll just let it do its little drift here. All right, yeah, they're back in the middle, it looks like. All right, let's see if they're in front of me. Last time they were in front of me too. Do a dead drift here, follow the bubble line.
So what was key, normally this spot is a pretty good one. I'll just kind of drift, a dead drift with a fly under the indicator and just kind of let it go through. And a lot of times I'll do well here, but in this case it was just a slow go.
I think I set it about 5 feet deep. It's a little bit deeper than I normally go 3 to 4 feet, but I figured it'd be chilly, so let's go with 5 just in case. Fish in the river. Yeah, it's about 34, but I see some ice and whatnot about, so it may be a little chilly. I got gloves this time. I forgot them last time. It's a nice slow drift. All right, let's see what's down this way. Definitely chilly temps. Let's try this drift again. Okay, nothing yet. See what happens. I think we might already have. I think it's like 6 feet instead of 5. So try that. Got it set really deep, I think. Yeah.
Okay, here's where I realized I better make an adjustment. Been fishing there for about 30 minutes, 40 minutes or so, and I say it's time to make a little switch. So I started out about 5-6 foot under strike indicator, and then I decided, hey, let's go ahead and up it a little bit, as well as maybe try some other patterns. Also, what I did notice is I normally use this 6-pound strand mono, just straight mono for a tippet. And in this case, for some reason, it was brittle. I would just tie on a section of that tippet, and then I'd tighten it down, and it would just snap. And then I had several snap on me while I was actually catching a fish as well as casting. I did switch to a 2-pound fluorocarbon, and that helped. But bottom line, that 2-pound test is, well, kind of rough, trying to bring in some of these guys. Oh, it looks like Ground Fog's here. Howdy, howdy. Appreciate you joining today. All right, we're just recapping our trip to the Blue River this past weekend.
I think I need a shorten it some. Let's do that. I got it set at like pretty deep. All right, let's drop the indicator a little bit. I got it, I think it's like 6 feet instead of 5. So let's see if I can drop it down to maybe 4. See where that takes it. Water flow's not too bad, so we may be able to get it to sink fairly quickly. I believe I'm using the 1/80th ounce jig fly hook, so let's see if that does it. But I definitely want my gloves on because it's cold. It is cold. All right, let's go there. I can feel what it feels like. Feels like I've got ice on the guide, so let's grab this and let's go to that one point real quick and work the middle of the river.
Okay, so I had the opportunity to shift spots and go across the other side where some other folks were doing well. Hey, so might as well go to a spot where they're getting bites. And then also in this view, you can see there's some ice in the water. So when I first got there, it's about 34 degrees that morning, but it was still getting ice pockets here and there. And then I was getting ice in the guides. A couple of times I had to break the ice off the rod guide so I can get my cast going. Luckily, I had my switch rod, so with that switch rod, I'm able to cast different directions or contortions to get the cast to where I need it, and typically it's under this overhanging branch or branches on this side of the river. But when I saw the other side open up, might as well go over there and maybe try catching a fish or two on that side. So let's see.
So let's just step down lightly. Man, I'm getting an alarm. Looks like it's 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. There's that ice in the water. Look at that. Ice in the water. All right, just gonna go work my way up here. So it looks like they're kind of tending toward the middle of the river where that undercut is. And usually, and that's why I brought my switch rod, was I can do this cast up river and hopefully get it underneath the brush or those overhanging branches, because it'll do that at times, and you gotta take advantage of that, you know. All right, let's try right here. Let's try here. All right, so it looks like they got some branch on the rod guides too, so that's making it a little bit rough. Okay, ice on branch. They were there last year.
So I'm still on this side of the river. I'm trying to work underneath these branches with the switch rod, but unfortunately I'm getting many bites, just some hits, misses, and whatnot. But I am taking advantage of that switch rod and being able to cast on kind of backhanded to get it where I needed to. Oh, look at that. I just lost video, but hey, we can still keep going. Okay, bear with me. Let's see. Okay, well, let me go ahead and keep going with the video.
That undercut, they were kind of lurking over there. Let's see if they're back there again. Oh, there's a rise over there. We got a riser. There's a riser. Could be a fish. See if he's still there. So we had one hit on the Guadalupana. Maybe getting a tap here on the montfly. Shoot, missed him. I don't get it. Where are ya? You gotta tap. See if he'll tap it some more. Come on. Take it under. There. Missed him. No tap. No tap. No tap. Does not want to tap. Wait a minute. Guy Rose over there. Coming back on you. GoPro, stop recording. All right, we're going to try that the leech pattern that we picked up from the individual who hooked us up last time. Let's see if this works. Just a couple of more hits on the montfly, but I wasn't able to hook up. So sounds to me like I got to make some adjustments. All right, leader, get it popped up. Let's see what this does. Try the middle. Cold on it. God, my toes cold. Toes cold. Missed them big time. Missed them big straight. Missed them. Purple leech pattern. It's cold. My foot is cold. GoPro, stop recording. All right, we're with the olive near deer now. Let's see what that does. Boss, come on. Chilly. All right. Wow, shot then.
Okay, bottom line, it was really tough on this side of the river, so let me skip us over and see if I can get you to look at the other side of the river where I had better luck.
Let's see what this turns out to be like in a moment. All right, we might be able to see a fish or two in the water. Let's go work this point. And what this does is give us access to both sides of the river. All right, there's a lot of ice in the water, so definitely gonna make for some interesting chilly times. Let's try it. All right. Let's see. Okay. Now what's nice about this is we got a clear back cast now without all this brush to worry about, so we can definitely work this whole area no problem. Let me just clear my line. Got a little overrun on it. Okay. All right. Here goes. Got the sun in my eyes, but I think we'll be all right. Yeah, I was trying to fish that undercut over there, had a couple of hits, but nothing consistent, so I'm hoping things might change here. Oh, it's bumping bottom, I think. See if they may be lurking on the other side. Couple of hits. Where's that guy casting from? I missed him. What is this? There's a hit. Dang it, I missed that one. It's that hit. Barely tapped it too. Hit it right there.
Okay, bear with me. I'm gonna switch us out to another
Saturday, January 25th.
another stream video or whatever.
Yes, 25th. We're over here at the Blue River, Oklahoma. Over here at the parking camping area, and I went with the 6-weight switch rod, and I'm just going to take a little walk down here to a low water crossing, also known as Hughes Crossing, and well, we're going to see what happens. Hopefully we can get a limit or two. Well, a trout or two to get a limit. Daily limit is 3. We're here in Oklahoma rules, so let's stay aware. And supposedly there's some nice sized trout that were stocked here recently. And I'm gonna go with a little indicator, and I've got a Guadalupana tied near deer style on a jig fly hook. So it's that variant that I made the other day. Temperature is about 34, just slightly above freezing, so let's stay warm. I do have my polarized glasses on, so I'm hoping I can see in the water and get a good clear picture of maybe something that may be lurking in the water. Okay, all right, cross at your own risk. River subject to flooding without notice. Water's flowing pretty nicely right now, so I think we got a good opportunity to catch a fish or two. Okay, what do we got? Oh yeah, water's nice and clear. Got my little wading stick. It's a repurposed walking stick. Water's flowing pretty good. Oh yeah, it's looking really good. Okay, so here's a view upriver. And there's a view downriver. We got about maybe, I'd say about 10-12 people here already. It's about 7:30 maybe. All right, let's just kind of work our way over. There's a nice spot to try crossing right here. Let's just dig in here real quick. Yeah, all right, we're in the water, but it's not bad at all. Check something real quick. Yeah, we're live. Okay. And what I'll typically do is I'll render this later unedited and just do a little rebroadcast. So hopefully tonight I might be able to show you how the day went.
So I did an earlier rebroadcast, but I'm doing this one mainly if you have any questions that you want to call out when you see the video. I'll be standing by here, and I'm on the chat as well as right here live. If you have any questions that you want to throw at me concerning the Blue River, or hey, let's talk fishing. Might as well talk fishing. We can talk anything in general, as long as it's fishing. Okay. All right, let's keep going.
Let's go start over here by the rock. It's a nice spot to start out, and I got the switch rod, so that should help out with getting some cast in from left or right, upriver. Look at this. Got some ice. Ooh, that's pretty thick. Wow. Ice in the river. Okay, let's just work our way around. Alright, and I got some cleats on, so that helps with walking on these rocks.
Oh yeah, you definitely want to have some at least some wading boots that have some traction. I like using cleats. There is a notice about DDMO and whatnot, so you got to be careful there and make sure that your waders are well taken care of when it comes to that. Other than that, yeah, I do have some cleats as well as a wading stick. I highly recommend having that because those rocks get really slippery over there on the Blue River.
All right, looks like I got some fish on. Nice. Some more of that ice. Look at that. Look how thick that is. Wow, thick stuff. All right. Looks like we got a fishy. Fishy. Nice. No, let me get my net out. This is my wooden net that I made out of some little pieces of pine slats or whatever. And there's my creel. Oh, that's a nice one. All right, we got.
So across the ways, there's a couple individuals that are doing really well catching some trout. In fact, I did see several nice sized trout, and the action seemed to be more on that side versus this side. But the trout were holding in about mid-river along a channel, as well as another set of rocks and another channel.
Fish in the river, trout in the river. I brought gloves this time because I really wore my hands out the other time coming out here when it was freezing temperatures. So let's see how I do with this thing here.
And that road back just to the right of my fly rod, you'll see it going into the water. That's the low water crossing, also called Hughes Crossing over here on the Blue River in Oklahoma.
All right, let's just get the line out, get it started. What I like about this switch rod is I can really play with the casting. All right, we'll just let it do its little drift here. All right, yeah, they're back in the middle, it looks like. All right, let's see if they're in front of me. Last time they were in front of me too. Let's do a dead drift here. Follow the bubble line. All right. I think I set it about 5 feet deep. It's a little bit deeper than I normally go 3 to 4 feet, but I figured it'd be chilly, so let's go with 5 just in case.
And as it turned out, well, I went a little too deep at 5 feet, 6 feet, and I'll make that adjustment later in the during the trip.
All right, we got fish in the river.
Okay, here's the dilemma. Do I stay in this spot and keep fishing even though I see trout being caught elsewhere? Normally, I would say start moving on after about 5, 10, 15 minutes or so. I ended up staying here about maybe half an hour plus. Mainly because I know this spot is normally a producer of trout. They are deep. They'll hang in these holes and pockets, and I can catch them. And I did get a couple of, I'd say, light strikes. But what will end up happening is I'll move on to another spot, just because, well, they weren't hitting like they normally do. So let me see if I can jump us over to the other spot I went to. Let's see. I think it's over here. Let's see. Yeah, here we go.
Branches, because they don't do that at times. And well, you got to take advantage of that, you know.
And so I'm just moving upriver about maybe, about 20, 30 feet upriver to this little point, this little rock that goes right into the water. And what I'm mainly going to do is I'm mainly going to try casting over here underneath these branches, okay? And because I got the switch rod, I don't have to worry about the back cast, and I can kind of do these contortion casts to get my fly underneath the trees and work that area. And normally it's also produced as well. And what ends up happening is I'll fish it and I'll gut it out for about another 20, 30 minutes or so. And, well, it doesn't turn out as good as it normally does, even though I do see some folks across, as well as I am getting hits when I cast mid-river. But unfortunately, I'm not hooking up. But, hey, that's fishing.
All right, let's try right here. All right. Let's try here. All right, so it looks like they got some branch here now. But what's nice about this is I can take advantage of this switch rod, kind of get it to the part of the river I like. Look at this. Yeah, getting ice in the guides.
Oh yeah, so temperatures were in the 30s, 34 in fact when I first got there, and oh by the way, it was still cold enough to get some icy rod guides, but well, you just gotta knock them off and keep fishing, you know what I mean?
Jumper, we got a jumper.
And what I'm going to go ahead and kind of move forward and skip to different spots, see if we can get some info out there and get you an idea what's out there. Oh, here's one from Bryce. Saw you there Saturday. You always have good info. Good job. All right. Thanks for joining tonight. And, all right, cool. I wonder where were you fishing Saturday? What section? And how did you do, Bryce?
Off snag bottom, but I'm
okay. One thing, I ended up switching from a Guadalupana, and then I switched to a mott fly. And I did get some hits on both of them, but they were just little light strikes. And normally I do much better fishing this particular spot. I did see on the other side these guys were doing really well. And as I'm fishing here, what I am noticing is I'm getting breakoffs. And it's happened to me in the past, especially during freezing temperatures. And I don't know, maybe it's the case where you leave your line out in freezing temperatures and next thing you know, you're getting breakoffs. It becomes brittle. I've had that happen with mono as well as fluorocarbon, and there'll be multiple times this case where I'm having to retie because the knot's breaking or the line is snapping, and even when I'm tying it, I'll pull it tight and it'll snap on me. It doesn't normally happen with the line I've been using, but I do remember I did keep these lines or this tippet out in well, some really cold temperature, well below freezing for several weeks now. So I may need to go and switch things out. Let's see, by the low water bridge, almost crossed the line. We did better in the wilderness. Oh, excellent, excellent. All right, nice. All right, yeah. It was a little bit tough for me in this section. I ended up doing better once I figured out a pattern. And well, yeah, I figured it would have been better in the wilderness area. I think, yeah, it was weird. Normally you get a lot more hits than what I was getting here. All right, let's keep going.
Trout.
I'm going to start skipping forward, see if we can get to some action areas. And again, in the other side, they're doing much better, even though we're pretty much fishing the same area. Well, actually, they're fishing the middle. I'm kind of fishing more to the edge. And then underneath the trees, when I do get my fly with the strike indicator in that area, I am getting some light strikes, but not near the consistency that I normally do.
Flip on to the other side here.
All right, so
take advantage of a clearer back cast.
Real quick. So the guys on the other side are done, and they did catch some nice trout. And, well, hey, let's go move to the other side is what I decided in this case.
Maybe get those guys that I kept missing. So let's see what happens. Whew, it's cold. All right, looks like we got a little shallow spot here to come in. Oh yeah, this used to be deeper. Well, let's see what this turns out to be like in a moment. All right. Maybe we might be able to see a fish or two in the water. All right. Let's go work this point. And what this does is it'll give us access to both sides of the river. All right. There's a lot of ice in the water, so definitely gonna make for some interesting chilly times. All right. Oh. All right. Let's try it. All right. Let's see. Okay. Now what's nice about this is we got a clear back cast now without all this brush to worry about, so we can definitely work this whole area no problem.
And one of the things I like about this particular switch rod is I can cast it overhead, I can cast it sideways, I can catch, I guess, a roll cast, switch cast, or whatever cast, and I can take advantage of loading up that really heavy shooting head and get it where I need to. And what I'm able to do here is, because I have a clear back cast other than a high set of trees, I'll just kind of cast and lift up higher, and then more of a high angle cast where it's above the trees and I can get it over. Unfortunately, well, you will still hook a tree or a bush or two, but hey, much easier casting with these switch rods.
Let me just clear my line. Got a little overrun on it. Okay. All right, here goes. Got the sun in my eyes, but I think we'll be all right. Yeah, I was trying to fish that undercut over there. Had a couple of hits, but nothing consistent. So I'm hoping things might change here.
So if you notice, I just picked up the rod and then I flipped the line over. I pretty much cast about 3/4 the width of the river with that cast, with no problem getting my fly out there. And, well, my shoulder's kind of hurt right now. Got a little soreness and whatnot, and so that's the other time when I take out the switch rod is I can use this rod and continue fly fishing even though my shoulder's hurt, because I don't really need to cast the same motion that you do using a traditional fly rod. And I do have the sun in my eyes, and at times you'll see where I'm just fishing one-handed, and I actually got my hands over my head. I didn't bring my normal ball cap. Instead, I've got a little watch cap or knit cap over my head.
It's bumping bottom.
Because I want to cover my ears, because it definitely got cold out there. All right. All right. So it'll go like this for, I'd say, about maybe 15, 20 minutes or so, and then for some reason,
see if they
my
may be
mojo comes
on the
back, and
other
I'm able to start hooking them. So let me see if I can flip flop to that section.
Okay, throw it in the. Another hit.
So I am getting hits, just I'm not hooking them. And I'm using a dead drift where I'm casting the indicator. Later on, the wind will pick up, and I'll just let the wind put the action on the strike indicator and impart that to the fishing fly.
Got him.
Nice.
Got him that time.
And one thing that I noticed with the switch rod is because I do have a lot of slack in the line, the rip thy lips technique seems to be key. So
right.
I see him start
First
taking
fish
it,
of the day. Gotta
pull
keep
back
them
quickly, as well as take up as much
All
line.
right, we're gonna keep the first fish of the
makes a big
day. Throw
difference
it
here.
in the dilly, and we'll keep them nice and fresh, and hopefully we'll get another one here shortly. Now that we've got a pattern, that was on the olive near deer. Fished about 3 foot under the indicator, and it's a light strike, very light strike. I had a couple of misses before that one, but yeah, it's a light strike. But hey, that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Let's go do it again. Switch rod is working out nicely. I can definitely cast to where I need to. Let me just do a little line management here, and I'll get another cast out. And they seem to be just on this side of the river where this set of rocks are that are just on the river, kind of hiding right in there. So with this vantage point, it's not bad. I get a decent vantage point here. Let's see if I can just gotta pop it out there. Okay, and let's see if we can get another one on the line. Like I was saying, it's a very light strike.
And you'll notice how I've cast it, and I'm just kind of bringing in the line. I'm actually bringing in the line mainly just to take up the slack in the line. I'm not trying to really move the fly or the indicator. I'm just kind of letting the water flow, as well as the wind waves or current impart the action to the fishing fly.
Okay, that one kind of pulled it under, but I think that was the rocks.
And I would say normally I would set the hook, when in doubt, set the hook. But I did notice I would be kind of ticking bottom. So you know you've got your indicator set right is when you do the occasional tick on the bottom where you can see your fly is hitting the bottom, and now your indicator is kind of bumping a little bit, moving up and down. I know I've got it set right, but oh, by the way, after a while, that indication or that little hesitation is going to be able to tell me to go ahead and start setting the hook, and you'll see that pick up here probably in about the next 10-15 minutes or so. Okay, just kind of let it drift along. I started out about 6 foot under the indicator, and then I went to about 4 foot. That was a hit. All right, that was a hit. He took it just slowly under. Okay, and then yeah, that was a hit. But the other thing is, if you just saw that where I lift up and I cast, I just shot that fly line pretty much the length of the river, the width of the river. With no false casting. That's the other reason why I like having a switch rod with me, especially fishing a situation where I may need some longer distance cast as well as maybe just your short casts. And with a switch rod versus a spey rod, it's a 11 foot rod. It's still light enough, maneuverable enough where I can still cast it one-handed, or I can do two-hand. In this case, what I do is one-handed typically, but because when my shoulder's hurting, what I'll do is I'll just kind of tuck the butt of the switch rod under my shoulder, and I'll use my body to actually cast the fly and the line and whatnot. Barely under. Okay. I'm using the smallest size indicator I have. It's just a thingamabobber. I didn't have those corks. I forgot where I put them. And all I'm doing here is just maintaining the line so I keep as much slack out of the line as it drifts down river. And I'm watching for the indicator to go under. Okay. Hello. All right, got him. Nice. I just got an olive near deer.
Glenn.
What's
up?
Oh, Adam?
Adam, and I'm Jason.
Okay.
I'm Adam.
All right. That's right. You lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been kind of slow, but I finally got him to hit on something.
Yeah. Olive, huh?
Yeah, olive, but I tried a mop fly, chartreuse, and he got a couple little pops, but nothing consistent. But there was another guy here that was doing really good, but then he left, so I was like, oh man. All right.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. What was that?
You gonna be at Fly Fest?
At Trinity?
Trinity?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I made every one so far.
Yeah.
All right, that was Adam and Jason. Nice. Yeah. Good stuff. Those guys can definitely Euro nymph. And they do really well at Trinity Fly Fest over there in Fort Worth. Gonna be awesome, man. They stock it with some big trout. Okay. All right, let's kind of drift it down. Drift it down. Look for that strike. Just kind of take it under.
So the sun's in my eye.
Come on, home
Her
service.
eyes.
Talk
And
to
later
the
on, I'll put
smalls.
my hand over my eyes so I can see the
So
indicator.
all I'm doing is I'm taking up the slack in the line. There is still some slack, and those are the cases where I will miss them. But at least we found a pattern. Started out on that side, and it's always tough to fish on that side because of that overhanging brush and whatnot, or branches. But I always like fishing that side with this switch rod because oftentimes I'll actually be fishing parallel to the bank, trying to work the area underneath these branches in that undercut, because there's been times where the trout are just kind of lurking on that other end, just right underneath over there. And yeah, you can definitely catch them.
So again, I am using a switch rod, and you can see how I can just kind of lift up the line and just kind of pop it back out there with no false casting and get it pretty much across the river. Additionally, if you look to the right over here where these rocks are, that's where I was standing earlier. And what I'm doing, I'm casting. When I was there casting about mid-river, as well as along parallel the bank underneath these overhanging trees. And in that case, what I'm doing is I'm doing a sort of using my back cast as the forward cast. So I'm taking the line, I'm flipping it over my off shoulder, and then I'm shooting it across my body, and then I'm getting it underneath those tree branches. And in the past, I've done really well there, where there's some trout kind of working in that area. This trip, no, they were more in the middle, but later on they'll start flip-flopping across the in the middle, as well as over some rocks and back over in this little undercut. But at least for now, they're pretty much staying in the middle.
At times, but looks like right now they want to be on this side, so hey, got to follow the pattern here. And it's pretty much just let it drift along, no action or anything. And temps should be starting to rise above the 30s. I mean, I think it was like 34 when I first got here this morning, so cross my fingers that it warms up some more, because I'm starting to get chilly. Okay, just kind of drifted along. All right, let's pop it out to the other side.
Okay, did you see that? I pretty much cast, no false casting, across the river. I'll do it again real quick.
Looks like right now they want to be on this side, so hey, got to follow the pattern here. And it's pretty much just let it drift along, no action or anything. And temps should be starting to rise above the 30s. I mean, I think it was like 34 when I first got here this morning, so cross my fingers that it warms up some more, because I'm starting to get chilly. Okay, just kind of drifted along.
So there's the lift, and there's the cast, and pop it back out.
Pop it out to the other side.
So I did what is called a water anchor in front of me,
and
there's
a riser over there underneath that tree. That's where I was working
out there
parallel on the other bank. So we're going to work it at an angle on this side then.
And what I found out later is the money zone. Let me see if I can show you the money zone.
Light.
Right over here where this branch is, right there. If I could get the fly right about underneath that branch or just to the left of it and let it drift along where the rocks and the deeper part of the river is on the other side as well as on this side. If I can get it through there, I'm going to get a hit. And it stayed consistent for the most part while I was there, other than there was one part where it kind of slowed down again, but then the wind picked up and then it started picking up again as well from a bite perspective.
Right, they're not really taking it hard. It's just kind of pulling the bobber under or the strike indicator under, and really it's just set the hook. Okay. Had a couple of misses before I got that one, and I had some other hits on the Guadalupana and that mop fly, but I'm gonna stick with the pattern right now and see if how long this near deer will hold out. Okay. Okay. see if he's gonna strike. Come on. Come on. Had one hit over here to my right also. And had that one over there and then one right in front of me. So hey, we'll just kind of work this area, see if we can get a, ooh, got a riser over there. Maybe we might be getting to the money zone here in a moment. Let's see. Come on, money zone. No money zone. Come on, come on.
So most of my hits were coming further upriver, but I also got a couple of hits in this particular area. So hey, you might as well, kind of keep checking and try these different spots. And so I'm kind of working this area right about here. But I will switch back up again upriver. All right.
Got a little bit more current, I'm noticing, pushing it downriver. Also, you got the wind that's also pushing it the other way too, so that's pretty interesting. You got like a cross current or double whammy. Let's kind of pop it across real quick and see if I can get it to where I thought I saw that riser. Oh, fish on, fish on.
You can definitely hear the wind picking up now. And I'll take advantage of that
I was
with
debating
wind
about
and the
using
current.
a tandem rig. See how, oh wait a minute, I lost my fly. Well, you can't catch anything if you don't have a fly on.
So that's the case where it's happened to me before where I've kept some line overnight, or actually several nights, several weeks in freezing temperatures, and when I keep fishing it, later on it becomes brittle. It's happened with mono as well as fluorocarbon now. So I've got the set that I have in my fly fishing vest. I'm guessing I'm going to put that one up and get some more or some other line, because in this case, I think a number of my breakoffs were related to that brittle mono. I did have some 2-pound fluorocarbon. I put some of that on later, but unfortunately that was breaking as well, as it does not hold up as much of the 6-pound that I was using initially. So bummer there, but lesson learned. Don't keep your line, fly line, or correction, leader and tippet material too much longer on freezing temperatures.
Holy cow. Let's go fix that up. GoPro stop recording. Alright, I got it retied on. It's the olive near deer with the Mardi Gras chenille. Mardi Gras chenille.
And oh, by the way, that Mardi Gras chenille seemed to be the go-to pattern, as well as making sure it's the 1/80th ounce fly. Later on, I will switch over to a pink pattern, and I was getting hits there. And the key there, have the right weight as well as have the right, depth. And I was getting hits. Initially started out 5 to 6 feet down, switched to more like a 4 to 5, ended up in the 3 to 4 range, and it seemed to be the money zone there as long as I was using that heavier fly, the 1/80th ounce. I did use a Guadalupana using a small bead. I think it was more like maybe 3 millimeter, and it was just, even though I had the indicator set right, about 3 feet, that lighter fly, I guess, didn't have the sink rate to get it down quick enough or get the right, movement or presentation than that 1/80th ounce. So I noticed big difference there. the weight as well as getting the fly at the right depth seem to be the key here. Color-wise, they like pink, they like olive, they like chartreuse, but more the pink and the olive.
So let's see how that goes. Let me put my gloves on because I'm still getting cold here, and we'll be fishing here shortly. Yeah, definitely got to have gloves in these cold temps like this. You can still see some ice in parts of the river too. So, oh, I'm getting a hit right now. So, yeah, some definitely cold times here. Oh, dang, I just had a hit. All right, let's fix this. All right.
So what happened there was I wasn't paying attention, and sure enough, the indicator went under. By the time I went to go set the hook, I had too much slack in the line. I wasn't able to set the hook quick enough. So, well, you got to pay attention when you're fishing. All right.
Just pop that up real quick. Okay. All right, let's see if I can get another one on the line. There he goes. All right. That is a little bit bigger than the other ones, I think. Number 2's there. Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. It's a nice one there, but we're gonna let them go. Let's go do another one here. So, things are picking up, picking up. All right, they're not very far, so that's good. All right, let's see if we can get another one to hit. I like this drift here too, where the water keeps the indicator moving.
And you can definitely hear the wind picking up, and I'm just letting the strike indicator kind of float, be it with the water flow, stay with the bubble line, but it's also kind of making these little waves, wind waves or current and whatnot, and it's causing that indicator to kind of bounce. And guess what? Also putting some action on the fishing fly I'm using.
Okay. All right, just got to keep the slack out. Ah, missed that one. Oh, tree fish. Damn it.
Bummer, yep, it happened.
Well,
Tree fish.
that happens, and watch me end up losing my fly.
I will.
Guess I can. Let's see. Well, I think I'm gonna lose my fly on that one. We'll see what happens. Let's see. Oh yeah. All right, I got another near deer on. Caught another one of those tree fish.
And when I say near deer, it's more like a
See if I
woolly
can-
bugger pattern, and I'm using the Mardi
catch another
Gras
tree fish.
chenille. And I call it Mardi Gras chenille because
try
I went
it
to Mardi
close
Gras
this
one
time
year,
and see if they're
and
lurking
that chenille
closer.
looked very Mardi Gras-ish. Yeah, you can definitely hear that wind kicking up. And across the ways, there's a couple individuals that are fishing. One of them is doing actually pretty good, and it looked like he was using some ultralight spinning gear. Couldn't tell what bait or he was using, but I did notice that he did have what looked like a trout magnet bobber. Hint, hint, hint. Okay, and again, with that switch rod, easily cast pretty much the length of the or the width of the river, no problem, no false casting, and I am in that money zone now. Hopefully, I'll be able to catch a fish now. Yeah, wind's picking up. Which is a good thing in this case because my fly is definitely getting some action. Okay, looks like the guy across has caught him a fish. And there's a no false cast, cross the river cast. Let me see if I can bump the video some.
Look at that. Alright, well, let me get it off.
Oh yeah,
man.
this one threw me.
Ooh, it's still on there. Look at that.
It's some kind of vine or whatever where I wrapped my fly line in there and it got really tied up in there, and the only way I could get it off was to actually snip off pieces of it. It was weird. I didn't think I could get it off without those nippers.
Oh man, I have to take my snips and see if I can get that off. Holy cow.
I mean, look at that.
Imagine if you hooked
it's
into
stuck
that.
in there.
There we go. Ooh, beat up my line. That's not good. All right, let me get take up some of the slack. And all right, let's try there. Take up some of the slack. Take up some of the slack. There we go, got him. Took it under. Took it under. Took it under. Let's see what this guy is. Now, this one has some color to him. It's got some pretty cool colors. Look at this.
Yeah, it was real pretty.
That's nice. All right. Well, let's see if I can get them back in the water. And see if we can get another one.
So I'm holding out for a bigger one
See if
now.
we can get number 2. It'll be a little bit bigger.
So what'll happen is I will keep the first fish of the day. That's like classic. If you don't do that, what happens? Your mojo's off if you don't keep the first fish of the day. After that, it's a 3-fish daily limit in Oklahoma. And, well, what I then do is I kind of play it by ear. I'll be not as picky with the second one, but be a little bit picky. The third one, I'll be a lot more picky. All right. Just because I want a bigger one versus just the smaller guys here. So, hey, that's fishing. And in this case, I let that one go. And now that I've got a pattern, I'm going to keep fishing.
Now, I want number 2 to be a little bit bigger. Okay, number 2. There we go. In the money zone, where that first one was. Okay. Just watching for that indicator to go under. And you got to set the hook fast, because I put a big bow in the line when I fish this switch rod a lot of times. All right. This one's pulling good. He's a little bit bigger than the other one. Huh.
It's one of those things where maybe I should.
I think I'm gonna keep this one. That leaves us with one to go. But we'll just play it by ear. Okay.
He wasn't bad looking at all.
Yeah. All right.
I'm trying to guess now. I think it was more like
Put this baby in. We got
maybe a
two,
chubby
about the same
13,
size.
14
All right.
incher.
Got 2 now in
Maybe,
the bag.
yeah.
And this third one we're gonna have to just really play by ear, and hopefully it'll be the biggest one of the day. What do you think? What do you think? Let's go for it. Okay. All right.
Okay, just to recap real quick. I've caught 2 trout. I've lost several. I've got some break-offs because I hooked into a tree fish. I hooked into some brush. On top of that, my mono, 6-pound mono that I'm using as tippet is breaking off and on. So I've had some really good hits, but they've broken off on me. When I go to tie the knot using, be it an improved clinch or a trilene knot, it's snapping on me. And the only thing I can think of is I've gotten some brittle line. I did leave it overnight, couple of weeks in sub-freezing temperatures. And in the past, that's happened to me before when I did the same with some fluorocarbon. But guess what? It's happening now with some mono. So maybe rule of thumb, maybe keep your line inside where it's warmer versus freezing temperatures, because I did lose several flies as well as fish because of my line breaking, and it wasn't because of the knot. Bummer. All right, let's keep going. All right, here it goes.
All right. A rundown on what I'm using is Cabela's TLR 11-foot 6-weight switch rod. Okay. Echo Ion 7.9, and I think it's the Rio Switch Chucker, which is a pretty good line. I can definitely cast with it. Okay. But you definitely have to keep as much slack out of the line when you're fishing this. And then when you set the hook, definitely set the hook quickly, because a lot of times you're right there. You're really just setting it up to pick up that slack in the line. All right, here's another one. Oh, shoot, that's a big one. Oh shoot, that's a bigger one. Oh well. All right. Well,
Yeah, that's
let
how
this
it
guy
goes.
go.
I should have kept this one
See if I
versus the
can-
other one.
Well, we got time still, so I want number 3 to be hopefully a bruiser, maybe, because supposedly there's some bigger ones in here. Okay, bear with me. I just got to get the hook out.
Look at the coloration on it, as well as those the
Oh,
speckles
man.
or dots
Cold.
on it. It looked
He's
really
flopping.
nice.
Looks like you've been caught before too. I put a big splash in the water. Nice. All right. Okay, let's see if we can do it. Number 3. Let's make number 3 be a bruiser. What do you say? Okay, again, keep as much slack out of the line. Let the waves bounce the indicator up and down. And with this long switch rod, set the hook as quick as possible so you can pick up all that slack out of the line. Okay, so I'm trying to keep the slack out of the line as much as possible, but I'm going to take advantage of the longer rod as well to set that hook. Ah, man, it's cold though. It is definitely cold. Okay. Let's go ahead and recast. Okay. Okay, again, just watching for the line or the indicator to go under. I do like it when they get this wave action, because that really gives the fly some movement. I don't know if that was one or not, but I just got all tangled now. Holy cow. Where did that bush come from?
Bummer.
Oh, man.
All right, let me skip it here. It got
This is
really
gonna be
tangled.
fun. Floating tip. Well, a limit, but hopefully it'll be a bigger one. Limb or whatever. Floating. All right, well, there's the tree fish that I hooked into and trying to get it. So, well, a limit, but hopefully it'll be a bigger one. What do you say? I already let go a few, so let's see if we can get some more. All right, okay. That last one probably was the biggest one, but I went ahead and let him go because, well, it's still early enough in the day that I want to keep fishing, because, you know, gotta keep fishing, you know. And it seems like the olive beard deal is working pretty good. You just gotta let it drift along and set the hook right when they hit, right there. All right. No, he's not as big. Yeah, he's not as big. Oh, man. Okay, let's get him off and we'll get him back in. So the key is that last one that I let go before this one, that's going to be the one we got to beat. And we'll give it a few before we call it, but right now it's still early enough that, well, we can keep fishing. So let's keep fishing. Just got to do a little line control here because it definitely gets a little crazy on us. All right, let me clear my line. I wasn't ready for that. Okay, let's go back to that one corner. Just under that undercut. I think there was some bigger ones there. Shoot, missed him.
And there's several times where that's happened, and I'm actually breaking
I want
off
it
because
back
of that
over
brittle
there.
mono. And I won't realize it where I'm just fishing without a fly because it's broken off.
took it under briefly and I missed it. See if I can get him this time. Oh, shoot. It's twice now. Thought I could get him. Should have had that one. Try it again. Oh, he hit it. He hit it again. He had it. I just briefly saw the flash on him.
And when I say I
Let me check
briefly saw the
something.
flash, what happens is
Yeah.
I've hooked into him.
Broke my line
I can see
again.
the trout getting hooked, and he's
Wow.
making a run.
Good thing I tied a bunch of those near deer.
And in this case, he
All right,
broke
well, let's
me
retie
off.
it. GoPro stop recording. Okay, we had another break off, and I just realized that mono has been very brittle for some reason. So I went and tied on, although it's a lighter weight, 2-pound fluorocarbon. I noticed that it's not snapping when I pull tight on the knot. So let's see if we can change our luck here. That last one I should have had, but he broke off big time. Okay, let's go ahead and let it drift and see if we can get another one on the line, hopefully bigger, so we can catch number 3 to make a limit. Got him. All right, that one's on the line. What's this guy? He's a little guy. A little Ponchatito. All right. Okay, gotcha. All right, and he's gone. Catch or release. Need a bigger one. Need a bigger one. Bigger one. Okay. They are biting. Look right down there. Got one on the line. It's good stuff. They are here. Are here and they're fighting.
Yeah, so once I figured out a pattern, and that Mardi Gras olive near deer just seemed to be doing really well, it was either I was hooking them and bringing them in, or I was breaking off because of that brittle line. And that kind of bums me out, because normally I do a lot better hookup rate. And well, for a moment there, I thought it was me, but luckily I can blame it on the line maybe. But rule of thumb, or at least a new rule of thumb for yours truly, is I'm going to keep my tippet material indoors during the winter season. In this case, I left it either in my truck or in the garage, and we had a couple of weeks where we had some really cold temps, below freezing and whatnot, and I believe that contributed to these cases where I was getting some brittle line. So, hey, keep that in your back pocket. Maybe it's happened to you. Hey, it's good. I think it's a good rule of thumb going forward. Because that 2-pound fluorocarbon, yeah, okay, it was working, but it just cannot take the same beating as a 6-pound Stren mono.
Another little one. Let's see if we can get the bigger one. Oh, this guy looks like he broke off. Some other line maybe. Yeah, he's got another line in him, I think. Yeah, he does. Look at this. He's got some kind of fly in there. Let's see if I can get it out. It's kind of yellowish looking, I think. He must have got hooked and let me take this off. He must have got hooked and broke off or something. Let's see. Oh,
So I end up catching this guy, but I noticed there's this line sticking out of his mouth, and it's not my line. And when I take a closer look at it, it looks like there might be a fly or something, but I wanted to investigate and go ahead and take that hook out and see maybe what he struck on.
it's one of those power baits. Yeah, power bait. All right. Well. Oh shoot! There's my glove. There's my glove.
Oops.
Let's go grab my glove here.
Yeah, I threw my glove in the water. Next thing you know, it's just soaked. So guess what? Had to take gloves off. It was just too wet. And luckily the temperatures are already starting to warm up, so I didn't have to sweat it near as much.
Guess I need that one. All right. I guess I'm not gonna wear the glove anymore. It's a little wet. All right. We'll just put it there and let it dry now. It's gonna be cold hands now.
Hey, you can definitely hear that wind picking up. And I will take advantage of it with both the wind being able to cast my fly further.
Well, at least it's starting to get warmer though. The wind's kicking up though.
As
Maybe
well
a
as
little bit
imparts
tougher
more
to get a
action
cast
to
or
that
two
fly
in, but I
or
can
that
take
fishing
advantage
fly.
of this switch rod and get it with maybe a switch cast out without having to do an overhead. Let's try it. Yep, that works. Except for
Okay, so a switch cast, it's not a roll cast and it has no back cast. What you're doing is you're laying your line just about, just a little bit slightly behind you and loading the line with the water tension. As it touches, go ahead and shoot back forward and it'll shoot your line out, and it does work well. Unfortunately, you don't see this, but there's a limb that is actually hooking onto my fly line as I'm doing that cast at times, so I have to be careful. I would have used it more often this time, but that, I don't know, that branch that was in the water just really was just liking my fly line, so I ended up having to make some adjustments there. But hey, that's fishing, isn't it?
getting caught on lines. Okay. Just watching the indicator. There he is. There he is. Oh, he's off. Haven't got away. Okay.
And what's interesting is, hopefully you can see my cursor, is there's the overhanging tree limb here. Right in this spot is what I'm kind of keying off of to keep casting in that particular location. And then from there, the current is going to either take the fly with the indicator along one side of these rocks that are kind of paralleling the shore. It's either going to come this way toward me or the other side of it. And depending on how it's drifting, I'm able to hook up with these trout. In this case, they were more on this side versus the other side, but later on they will start hitting on the other side of that set of rocks and whatnot. So picture this. Let me see if I can get it. So picture this. Right here in the middle, let's say, is a set of rocks. And let's say this is a set of rocks right here. I'm casting the fly either to this side and it's drifting, or to this side and it's drifting. And sometimes the trout are staying on this side and sometimes they're on that side. And all I'm doing is I'm just kind of recasting and just kind of letting it drift on either side. And depending on how it's going, hey, keep casting, in that particular location. All right, let's keep going. Bear with me here. I got to find my cursor. There it is. That one was on this side of those rocks.
Nope, another little one. We need a bigger one. Alright, and there's the near deer with the Mardi Gras chenille. Mardi Gras chenille. Okay. Mardi Gras chenille.
And I would show you one of those flies, but unfortunately I don't have any more. They either broke off or I ended up giving away some.
Okay, let's clear the line a little. Oh, my hands are getting cold. Okay. And I'm just gonna let it drift along, just keeping the slack out of the line. Be ready to set the hook. Set the hook. Set the hook. That tree fish, or the tree dealie keeps messing with me here. Okay, I'm out of there. All right. Fingers getting cold though. Oh, sorry. Think I got tangled with you? All right. Sorry. Okay. All right, I didn't see that, but all right, I got tangled with an individual. Okay. All right, there we go. Let's take it right there to that one set of rocks. See if I can get a bruiser lurking in there.
And like I was saying, they're either on one side of the rocks or the other side of the rocks.
Nice. 3 pound. That's a big one.
Yeah, wind's picking up big time. And off in the distance, there's an individual who caught a 3-pounder.
Let's see if they're lurking over here closer in. Maybe not.
I'm gonna kind of jump forward here.
Oh, shit.
That last set that I just skipped over, what ended up happening is I didn't have a fly on because my line was brittle and I broke it off. So I'm fishing without a fly, so it'd be really tough to catch anything.
Did it again. Took it again.
And
Took
it's
it
happening
again.
where I'm getting
Took it
hits,
again.
I'm missing, or they're breaking off, and that brittle line is starting to get me frustrated.
Took it again, and I'm on a mott fly earlier. GoPro stop recording. All right, we're gonna go with a pink near deer with the rubber legs and see if that makes any difference.
So here I've lost my Mardi Gras style olive near deer, and now I'm going to go to an olive near deer, or correction, another near deer, but it's a near deer that's pink and it's got these rubber legs, and things are going to start out really well, but unfortunately, well, guess what? That brittle line kind of kicks in and kind of puts a damper on things. But hey, let's check it out.
It's one of these days where I think just depth is more important right now than the color. Even though everything I've gotten so far have been on the olive pattern, olive near deer, olive guadalupana. I did get some hits on a mott fly earlier, so that was a chartreuse one. So who knows? Let's just try this pink thing and see what happens. Maybe that might do something a little bit different for them, I guess. I don't know. We'll try it. We'll try it.
And one thing to call out is I have fished before in cold temperatures, and the difference between one pattern over the other, be it the same coloration, basically the same fly, other than one had rubber legs versus one didn't. Well, made a world of difference. I would be catching one versus another individual fishing that same pattern was catching 10. So well, I just kind of keep it in your back pocket. Maybe sometimes it might be better to get some of those patterns that have the rubber legs.
All right. There we go. He's on. Yep, pink works. Pink works. He's a little bit bigger too. Okay, so and he's gone, and he broke me off too. Shoot.
Brittle line.
GoPro stop recording. Okay, we're back to the pink near deer. My leader broke off again.
And it's one of these cases. I've got I had 2 with rubber legs, and then I had about 2 or 3 more that didn't have the rubber legs, and I still were getting some hits off the ones without rubber legs. But I believe if I had ones with those legs, I think I would have done a lot better.
I think that mono is real brittle right now, so apparently that's not good. I'm getting stuck here because I've lost a bunch of fish that way, and as well as flies. So let's see if we can change it up here. All right. Having a hard time seeing now. All right, let's see. All right, I see the indicator. He's just kind of floating along. There's a hit. Ah, missed him. Missed him. Having to cover my eyes and be able to see the indicator. They hit that pink one earlier, so I'm thinking they'll hit it again here shortly. Oh, there's a hit. All right, picked it up. All right, hopefully my leader will stay in place, or my tippet. Tippet's been breaking off a bunch. Okay, a little bit bigger. Yeah, a little bit bigger.
Sort of like a sausage.
Definitely cold. Okay, let's see if I can. All right, let's let him go. All right, pink. Went for pink.
Again, it's the pink near deer with rubber legs. I think the ones with rubber legs did a lot better than the ones without.
All right, let's get this line under control here. Definitely tough to see, but I got my polarized glasses on, so hopefully that helps. That one hit closer than the other ones, so we'll see.
There's that branch again. So I'll attempt to do a switch cast and it'll hook onto it. That's kind of submerged, so it's kind of grabbing my line. And I'm fishing one-handed. I got one hand above doing this to kind of block the sun, and I'm holding my fly rod here. And I'm kind of letting it drift along. If I get a hit, I'm going to try striking as soon as I can.
Just watching it drift through. Oh, tapped it, he tapped it. Slight hit, slight hit. He tapped it. Tapped it.
So I had my hand covering my eyes and I'm holding the fly rod, and I see him take it barely under, and I try setting the hook
All right.
as soon as I can, and luckily I
Yeah,
did.
so I'm using 2-pound test line. That 6-pound mono just got brittle, I guess, and I broke off multiple times. So, but luckily, pattern's working. I think, like I was saying, I think it's depth versus color. Get it to the right depth and right drift, and I think that's what they're hitting, because they've hit pink, they've hit chartreuse, and they've hit pink now, or olive. So yeah, it's good stuff, man. Let's see if we could play around some more. Okay, let me clear the line. Just get the drift going. Briggs this time, and it's bigger.
I'm gonna speed it up.
Wind. Just the depth.
Okay, why not just have a little conversation? Someone just asked me a question. Let's just kind of walk through what I did, and I think
was that?
that'll give you a good idea on what I did today.
It's a near deer, olive, and then pink.
Let me go ahead and restart it.
Yeah.
And one thing I like about the blue is pretty much you can ask a fishing question, fly fishing question to another individual there, and they will most likely tell you all they know. There's nothing to hide, and you get asked a question or you ask someone a question, they'll tell you the fly, the pattern, the color that's working for them. Because bottom line, you can have the right gear, the right fishing fly and whatnot, but it's still going to be up to the individual to catch a fish. And so if you ask me while I'm out there fishing, I will tell everything I know that's working that particular day. And, well, I'll even share a few flies with you.
Let's see. What was that? It's a near deer, olive, and then pink. Yeah, it's like a woolly bugger. Just they want a heavier one. I tried the one, what do you call it, 80th ounce, and it gets it deeper.
Yeah.
So, and then I tried a lighter one, and they were hitting it, but not as quickly. And then, yeah, and I switched different colors, and so far, they're hitting pink, they're hitting olive. Just, I think it's just the depth. And so there's a bunch of rocks right here and right over here. And then there's another set of rocks here, and then there's a channel on the other side, and then there's a channel right here, and they're flip-flopping back and forth between the two. So sometimes they're over there, then they'll come back over here, and then here all you do is just I got a longer rod, the switch rod, so I can shoot it out that way pretty easy. And if you get it right over here on this drift, you'll usually get a hit. Not so much here right now, but it changes. You want to try? I'm done. Yeah. So all I'm doing is I'm shooting it across, like over here. Yeah. So what I'm doing is I cast it over there, or over here, just along where these rocks are, and then I'm just letting the indicator drift down with the wind and all that. I'm not even doing anything to it. And I've hooked a bunch, but I broke off. For some reason, my mono as well as fluorocarbon are snapping.
Snapping on you?
Yeah, I think I got a cold or something. Yeah, and so right here, it's short now, but what I noticed was,
It seemed like you had your leader shorter than what I was doing mine from the indicator.
yeah, what was working was I went with 6 feet initially and it didn't work, and then I got tangled right now. But let's see, this has been cut several times too, so it's short also. But so here's the indicator, and
So you're not very far deep.
no, add another foot to that. It's just I've been snipping at it because it keeps getting cut. So about 3 to 4 foot under your indicator, and I'm using, here's a pink near deer. This is the pink one.
Okay.
All right, and then the olive one was working good also. I tried this Guadalupana right here, and it normally does really well. I got hits on it, but it's going too slow.
Oh, gotcha.
All right. What was working was, I think my last one here. Yeah, here we go. This one right here.
Woolly bugger.
Yeah, it's woolly bugger like, right here.
Yeah.
Or no, that's the Guadalupeana. This is the one. Let's see if I can find it. Actually, no, I bet both of these will work. Here, take those two. Try
doing
those.
Something else?
No, I'm good. I'm gonna play around somewhere else now, but try that, and then this is the.
I'm gonna put it on there.
All right, and then here's a pink one that I was getting hits on with this one here. Hold on to that one and play around with it. The main thing is just depth. That's the main thing. 3 to 4 foot, and then get it there and just let it drift along and watch them hit it. And then other than that, yeah.
Sure, can't trade you a fly.
Oh, sorry. No, I'm good. Alrighty, give it a try. I just gotta fix this, and I'm gonna go down river and play.
Alrighty, so like I was saying, you're on the blue. Someone asked you a question. I'm telling you, if the fishermen are friendly, they will talk to you, give you everything they know. And in my case, I got some flies that are working. I'll let you have them. Because, well, one of the things that I like is just other folks catching fish, including, well, myself as well. All right. Anyways, that's what happened there. Then things kind of died down, and then I went ahead and went down to the low water crossing and just wanted to kind of play around and take advantage of the switch rod and the ability to cast for distance without having to put much effort into it, especially with my shoulder being sore. All right. So let me see if I can jump to that section and give you an idea or what was working there, and maybe just describe some of the switch rod piece as well. All right. Okay, so where I'm standing, I'm on the low water crossing at Hughes Crossing. It's a section you can use to drive across or walk across the river. Here's where the rocks were, where I was standing at the beginning of the day, and normally I was catching them just over here, right by this deep hole that's there, but I didn't get anything, just some nibbles here and there. Then I went ahead and started trying to catch anything under these branches and whatnot. Didn't get anything there. Went ahead and switched over to the other side and hooked up there, and that's where I got the majority of my fish. And here I'm standing on the low water crossing. Doesn't look very far, but that's probably maybe a 60, 70, maybe 80 foot cast. And this is the case where you can take advantage of that switch rod and being able to cast for distance and get your fly where it needs to be, where the trout are lurking. And where I'll be aiming at is this rock over here, right in the middle. Okay, let me just flip it around to get you to that spot. So I've been working the different holes as well as some of the areas that are flowing, like channels and whatnot. And I'm taking advantage of that switch rod being able to cast it. And I can reach that rock out in the distance, no problem. I don't know how far it is, other than it's over 50, 60, 70 feet. And you can see where I got one. All right. And he was lurking over there by those rocks out in the distance. Doesn't look that far, but it is a pretty good cast if you're using some traditional gear. For a switch rod, it's no problem.
Troutus among us.
Yeah.
All right. He went for a another near deer, but this is with that little smaller chenille. Good stuff, man. Here I'm just taking advantage of the switch rod, being able to shoot it for distance here. Now that I got room over here at the crossing area. All right, little sausage-like one. All right, there he goes.
Alrighty, so hopefully this has been helpful for you, and maybe if you got any questions afterwards, definitely just kind of post it in the comments. I've been monitoring things, and I do answer them. Just as long as it's fishing related, I'll definitely answer them. Non-fishing related, hit or miss. I may just kind of block you if it's kind of, well, not a good thing to post. Anyways, with that, appreciate you joining tonight, and let's do this again. Hopefully I'll be able to get out there and do some live streaming while I'm out there fishing, and then if not, I'll rebroadcast it if I'm not able to live stream it, in particular those locations where I don't have any coverage. And then on top of that, I'll do these live streams just to do some Q&A so that, well, hey, maybe there's something that you have a question on, or a particular thing that I've done that, well, maybe get your interest, and it's maybe something that you want to try doing. So in this round, I fished the Blue River, Oklahoma, by Tishomingo, and I was using a 6-weight switch rod and fishing basically streamers, the near deer pattern. And then on top of that, I was using a strike indicator. Initially started fishing it deep, 5 to 6 feet. I thought it was one of these cases where it's cold weather, freezing, they're going to be deeper. When it turns out they were actually in the upper part of the water column, more like 3 to 4 feet. And I noticed that from a fly standpoint or coloration standpoint, pink was working, olive was working. I suspect other colors would have been working. The main thing was just getting your fly to the depth where they were lurking and getting that drift. I tried a 1/80th ounce jig fly hook, and I was getting consistent hits. I switch over to a bead head, size 10, size 12, I'd say small to medium bead head, and it just was not getting deep enough, fast enough for the trout. So the strikes I was getting was hit or miss, versus I was getting more consistent strikes with that 1/80th ounce jig fly hook, specifically on that olive as well as pink near deer. And then the other thing is, I need to go get some more new line, because that Stren Mono that I was using, 6-pound Stren Mono, I had so many break-offs that, well, I think I probably would have landed a lot more than what I landed Saturday over there on the Blue. All right, for that, all for now. Next time, we'll get you on later, and good luck and good fishing.